Hi beautiful one, welcome back. Today I'm going to tell you about how I met my guru in this lifetime, when I didn't know I had a guru and didn't want a guru. Turned out I actually had one, and she turned out to be pretty amazing. Alright, let's get started. Intro. I know a few of you have been wondering what all these things are behind me and why I've chosen them. Over here we have beautiful octopus because I love octopi. I think they're amazing creatures. They're super duper intelligent, and I wish that we were doing a better job of taking care of their habitats. This is Harry Houdini. From a very early age I remembered being Houdini in another lifetime. And I draw on his energy and his strength whenever I need it. If I ever find myself in a jam, in a sticky situation that I can't figure out how I'm going to solve or get out of, I always go, Harry, help me get out of this. And I tap into that creative energy of breaking free from any situation I've got myself into. I don't know if you can see it here, but I've got a little cobalt blue bottle. Cobalt blue because I have some more cobalt blue objects that are wrapped up that I intend on breaking out and placing in the background as well. I'm absolutely obsessed with bird cages, especially older Victorian style bird cages. I think they're incredibly beautiful, just kind of haunting and poetic. The concept of the beautiful, artful, decorative caging that we all put ourselves in, and how we need to break free from them. I'm also obsessed with wooden boxes and drawers and cabinets and things like that. This one belonged to my little sister who passed away a few years ago, so it has some sentimental value. Up on top we've got Buddha and Bunny. Buddha, who helps guide you home to yourself, and the Bunny, who helps guide you down the rabbit hole to surreal psychedelic journeys. This right here is a little image of Kali that was given to me as a gift a few years ago. It's a beautiful little figurine of Kali, who I absolutely adore. I've had a strong connection to Kali for a really long time. She's the darkness that everything came out of and the darkness that everything returns back to in creation. This is Ammachi, an image of Ammachi. Amma is a guru from India who is known as the hugging saint. She travels around the world and hugs thousands and thousands of people almost every day, giving them a huge blast of energy and blessings. She is my guru, which came as a complete surprise to me in this lifetime. I didn't believe in gurus or feel that I needed one, but it turned out I already had one. This is a beautiful silver chalice. I love the symbolism behind the chalice and the grail. I was in a mystery school out of England for many years where we did a lot of work with the Arthurian legends and the grail. This is an image of the sun that was carved by Cecil Wadhams in BC. I found this in a thrift store in Venice, California, and I absolutely love it. And these are seahorses. I was almost a marine biologist in this lifetime, and I'm completely obsessed with seahorses. They're such beautiful, magical creatures. I've raised 5 different species of seahorses so far in this lifetime. And this knife right here belonged to my grandfather, my mother's father, who passed away when I was about 4 years old. I loved him very much. He was an extremely kind, loving, caring, beautiful being, and it means a lot to me to have something that he carried around. So gurus, who needs them? Well, that's the way I used to feel. This story starts for me back in New York City in Brooklyn in the 90s. I was living in a brownstone in Park Slope and was doing a lot of work with the Divine Mother, a lot of meditation and ritual work. During this time I was in deep communication with the Divine Mother daily, and she guided my every step. It was very common for her to show up in my dreams and teach me about different things, and she would show up in different forms. So it didn't seem unusual to me when she started showing up in my dreams as an Indian woman. I started having dreams where I would be in a field of beautiful flowers, and there was this aspect of the Divine Mother dressed in a white sari there. She would teach me about things and tell me about things and show me things about the future. This went on for several years, including after I left New York and moved to Colorado for a while and then to Los Angeles. After being in LA for a year or so, I suddenly started having all these people asking me if I knew Ammachi, if I'd ever met Ammachi, who I wasn't familiar with at all. People told me that she was a guru from India and that she was really amazing. And I was like, whatever. I wasn't really interested in a guru. I had a very strong connection with the Divine Mother and the Divine Father. I got my teachings directly from them and from within myself, and I didn't see the purpose in having a human being act as an intermediary for me. It was starting to get extremely trippy though, because several people started asking me if I'd met her, including a complete stranger in line at the grocery store and a complete stranger in line at the post office, both who turned around and said, "I'm sorry to bother you, but I feel like I should ask you, have you ever met Ammachi? I think you should meet Ammachi. I think you would really like her." Finally, when the 13th person said, "Have you met Ammachi? I think you should meet Ammachi. I think you'd really love her," I was like, all right, okay, Mom, I get it. I need to go meet this Ammachi chick. I don't know what is up with this, but I get the message loud and clear that I need to go and meet her. It of course turned out that she was coming to LA just a couple of weeks later, so I and a group of friends decided to go and see her. She was holding her event at one of the big hotels near Los Angeles Airport, so we arrived that day and we were walking down the hallway toward the conference hall she was in. They had the doors wide open and we could hear the music echoing down the hallway, and there were people dancing and laughing. And I commented to my partner at the time on how strongly I could feel the goddess energy. I felt like the Divine Mother was right there. It was one of the strongest experiences of her energy that I'd ever had. We got up to the conference hall doors, and there across the room, sitting on a chair on stage, hugging one person after another, was Mother, the Indian goddess who had been appearing in my dreams and teaching me for years. I was completely blown away. I didn't really know how to handle it or take it in at all. I'd read stories of the Divine Mother or Father incarnating as particular human beings to aid and help humanity, but I never thought that I would meet one of those incarnations. I went to the front of the room and I sat down with other people in front of her and just watched her hug person after person after person, pouring love and energy into them. And I was simply amazed. It was her. It was Mother. It was my mother, the mother that had been teaching me for years. And there she was in the flesh, sitting there in person. And she began speaking to me in my mind, as she always did. She told me that she was in fact my guru, and that we had made that agreement many, many, many lifetimes ago. I was very hesitant, and I told her that I didn't want a guru or need a guru. And she said, "Well, you already have one. You've had me for a really long time. Besides, you misunderstand what the concept of a guru is. You have a very Western understanding, which is completely incorrect." She said, "You think a guru is a person that you give your will over to and that they tell you what to do with your life." She said, "What a guru actually is a being who has awakened to the fact that they are everything and are able to act as a bridge for you to deliver you back to your own feet." I went up and received a hug from her that day, which was mind-blowing to say the least. Receiving a hug from Amma is like being on the receiving end of a giant blast of energy just poured straight into your being. Every time I receive a hug from her, I walk away shaking. I had an opportunity to receive a mantra from her and rededicate myself to her as my guru, but I wasn't quite ready to do that yet. My ego still wanted to hold on to its autonomy, and she said that was fine, it didn't matter. Our relationship was still what it was. I went to see her again about a year later when she visited her ashram near San Ramon, California. This beautiful wooden A-frame temple, which so far has been my favorite place to see her. We've been communicating a lot in my mind prior to that, and I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that she was my guru in this lifetime, regardless of whether or not I completely understood it. So I asked her for a mantra to Kali, and accepted her again as my guru, which accelerated my inner teachings. And she made good on her promise. She did deliver me to my own feet, and I'm eternally grateful. Awesome. Thank you again for watching. I deeply appreciate you. If you like this video, please hit that like button below. Be sure and subscribe and hit that bell button so you receive a notification every time I release a new episode. I'm very grateful for your presence and allowing me to share with you. I love you very, very much, and I hope that you are having a beautiful day. Peace